being that young, and at the time we weren't really playing out of state, everything was like, you know, a mailing list at your show. Like you'd sign up for it, you'd get a flyer, or maybe you'd go over to the merch booth and buy a CD. And everything from that point was tape trading. So, you know, that was how I was exposed to more, slowly but surely, more music, more thrash metal. Now we just get all that through the internet. You know, we don't get the physical copies, and you're not having to take a Suffolk cassette or a CD you burned and put it in the mail and send it to somebody.
It's very interesting when you talk about that. We're old enough in an age to have seen the internet, because you know, you're touching on, I remember when I would listen to the radio and they'd say, we have a new track from X artist coming up, and I had to hit record on my cassette to try
and record the whole show, like and that way you could go back in order to listen to it. And it was kind of fucked up, because now we just take that shit for granted. You know, you skip to the song you want, you pop this one in, you got an iPod that holds 1 billion songs on it, you know, you have, you know, Sirius and all the rest of those digital radio stations. So it's a lot different now, you know. It's a lot different. But
I wouldn't change people value music anymore. And what I mean by that is because it's so instantaneous. So it said, like, you know, we used to go out, we used to, you know, buy the CD, and we know that heavy metal fans generally are still an audience that will go buy that. But I mean, like, you drop a record and you listen to the whole thing. You know, we know the difference. Some bands are sort of based on singles, others are based on, you know, the experience of an entire album. Do you think sort of, you know, music is valued the way that it would have been prior to the onset of the internet?
I think I think for artists, older artists that had to go through that whole thing, I think they have a little bit more respect. I think they have a more mature outlook on it, because now anybody can find anything anytime they want it, you know. And with that being said, it doesn't hold like true to saying, like, somebody who worked their ass off and gave you a CD and that was the only way you could get it. You know what I mean? You kind of valued that CD when you got it and you listened to it and you're like, whoa, that song was cool. That song was cool. This band kicks ass. Like, now you have that CD and you would put it in a rotation in your player, or you'd use the cassette, like, and put it in your cassette deck. Nowadays, people just put it on for 3 seconds and they can turn it off. They have access to it so fast. So I don't think that they actually respect the amount of work that's gone into producing the music, but they just take it more for granted because it's just so readily available. You know, I think it is that way to some degree. I'm not going to say that's with everybody, because there's a lot of people that grew up and that raised their kids that way, to have, like, to respect the things that they have and the work that's put into it, and, you know, take pride in that kind of thing. For me, it's like, I would prefer to actually, you know, if somebody sends me a song on Facebook, for example, you know, listen to my song, I just put it out, blah, blah, blah. I may not immediately be able to fucking listen to it. I go back to listen to it. And if I like it, I'll at least respond and be like, yo, this is pretty cool. Maybe I'll take it and I'll post it on Facebook for other people to hear it, because it's out and they're just getting exposure that way or something. And hopefully a lot more bands and people do things like that, because that's like more like the new day and age sort of thing, where you're promoting your friend's band and you're keeping the scene alive that way. And hopefully people will respect that in the long run, you know. But it's too easy now. People can go, oh, I want to hear this, bip, they put it on, oh, I can rip it, bip, oh, the CD's gone, bip. They don't have to go and buy it. It's already given out to them. So it sucked the bottom out of the music industry, which made Lars Ulrich right. You know what I mean? Unfortunately, it did. It fucking made him right.
There's probably a lot of people listening to this as well that we wouldn't even remember that, because Napster was 2000. So again, we're talking about people that, you know, you'd have to be 25 to 30 to even remember that now.
Exactly. You know, 21-year-olds don't even know that anymore. They can't remember a rotary phone. You know what I mean? Or when you had to stop on the side of the road, put a quarter in it, and actually remember the phone number that you needed to type in to call somebody. You know, that's all taken for granted now, it's a different style. It's sad for me because, you know, being the age I am, which is fucking old as dirt, you know, now, you know, you kind of had to know those simple traits and skills in order to get by in things, you know. Now people don't have to do that anymore. It's all automatic.